En la ciencia.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back in with another video. We conquer through Christ. We conquer through Christ. You see, it's kind of gloomy and rainy out here. We due for some rain. It's been kind of dry. A lot of these small little lakes out here in Florida done dried up. And thinking about that and thinking about the world current events from Corona, COVID, whatever you want to call it, to this war in Ukraine, it has a lot of people kind of concerned and getting into preparedness and prepping a lot more. Even people who I've been watching and talking to that never thought about prepping and preparedness, thinking about it more because of current event. Now, me personally, since 2013, I've been preparing, not on a state of like getting bunkers and all this other stuff, but I've always bought extra medical supplies, extra canned food and stuff like that. Just different things to where if something was to happen, I'm good because I have kids. But a lot of people look at it like, oh, you're a Christian. Your faith should be in God, not your preps. And you know what I'm saying? I have my reasons for doing it, and even looking into the Bible, because there are verses that's, saying, well, hey, you shouldn't prep or you shouldn't concern yourself with certain things. But there are verses on putting a little bit away for later. And that's what we're going to get into this video, because there's a lot of confusion. And this is my personal opinion. If you agree with me or even don't, leave a comment. We could get a discussion and come to some common ground. Or maybe you can see where, hey, yeah, it's not that bad. Or I can see, hey, maybe I'm doing something wrong. This is a place in a community where we could grow together and get a better understanding of what's going on, where it's like-minded people and we can get our point of views across. When it comes to the decision on whether I should prep or I shouldn't, I'm not gonna lie, I've always kind of leaned toward prepping. And, I will, look through the Bible and try to find things that kind of say, hey, yeah, it's okay to prep. But one Bible verse that's always been on my mind and I always thought about that's kind of against preparedness and prepping and, putting things away is Matthew 6:25-27. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and a body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they? Can any of you worry and add a single year to your life? Now that's very clear, cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about it. Don't stress it. But I realize that that's the key. It's telling you not to worry about the things of life. Don't worry about putting stuff away. Don't let it worry you. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it stress you. Now, I never went to seminary. I'm not a preacher. I'm just the guy who's reading the Bible and explaining to you my perception, and that's the reason why I decided to make these videos. But the way I see it is, he's saying, don't worry. Don't stress putting things away. Don't kill yourself and get anxiety and let it control your life, because that's not what he's called to do. If God is your provider and he's your security, like, that's enough. He's not going to fail you. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. And that's in his word. So don't stress these things. If you don't have it, it is what it is. Now, another verse in the Bible, in the books of Matthew, in the same chapter, 6:34. Verse 34 says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has its own trouble. I ain't gonna front. That's true. And anybody who know me, I'm like a little old man. I'm always panicking and worrying. But that's true. But that's the thing, and that's the key thing I keep looking at, is that it says don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not gonna front. When I first started prepping and hearing this information and being aware of everything that's going on in the world, I was scared. Like, I really was talking to Tay like, yo, we need to live in the woods and get a hut and all this other stuff. I'm spending all my money on preparedness gear and just being foolish and wild because I'm panicking. I took my faith from God. Now, yeah, this is before I even understood. I was just one of those. I was in religion, not relationship with Christ. So my faith wasn't in Christ. My faith was in everything else. My faith was in myself, my finances, and my preps. So my understanding of relying on God to provide for me was a lot different. But I can see right now the difference in my faith to where I panicked. You know what I'm saying? I was just worrying. I'm scrounging to get things, and it's affecting my relationship. It's affecting my kids. It's not good. And God calls us not to worry about these things. It's gonna come. Worry about right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we in the right now. And a lot of times, doing what's right for right now will help you tomorrow. But if you keep thinking about tomorrow, you ain't fixing it right now, you're gonna come into troubles. Now, I want to kind of discuss, because every verse in the Bible isn't about not putting stuff away and not worrying. There are a few verses that kind of say, hey, you should put some stuff away for a rainy day. There are situations in the Bible where people foreseen things happen in the future and they put stuff away. So let's get into them. Proverbs 21:20. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools go up there. Some people could look at that verse as fools are gluttonous and they just overconsume. But it does say the wise stored them away. It don't say for what reason, but it does say that they stored them away, maybe for later consumption. You know what I'm saying? But it could be took in a lot of different ways. But I'm just looking at it like, if you're wise, you're gonna put stuff away for a later use. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it could talk about don't overconsume. Fools overconsume, but to me, it wouldn't bring up the fact that wise store them away. But that's something that I look at. Now, if you look in the book of Genesis, Pharaoh had a dream. In the dream, it was prophesied by Joseph that he's going to have 7 years of good harvest and 7 years of famine. And Joseph kind of brought it to attention, like, look, because he asked him, what should I do? He said, well, in the years of harvest, put a certain percentage aside for those years of famine. Joseph, who was told by God to do these things, that's who he was led by. Joseph was a great man of God. God favored Joseph so well, he went to Egypt as a slave. And because God favored him, despite everything he went through, he climbed the ranks to be respected by Pharaoh. And that's the thing too, is he's somebody who's very appointed, and God told him to put things away. And it wasn't out of fear, it was in preparation. I may be going for a little reach here, and I don't like to be one of those people, but it's just how I look at it. And you guys tell me I'm wrong. Hey, I'm not above reproach. We can have this conversation. I'm not above being told you're right or you're wrong. I'm all about communicating in dialect, but I look at it like this. God warned Noah of the flood, and he told him, build an ark. Now, I look at it like this. God is warning me through current events that certain things are going to happen. And I look at it like, well, I see this happening. I do have a family to provide for. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to make sure things are as comfortable for my family during these trying times. You know what I'm saying? I feel like no man wants their kids hungry. No man wants their kids going without bare necessities. And I'm not at the beginning, I'm not doing it out of fear. It's just seeing a storm coming and getting my umbrella, And that's how I look at it. I'm not doing it out of fear, because I know regardless of what, God is going to make sure I'm okay. And even if I die, this is not my home. You know what I'm saying? This is not my home. So it is what it is. I'm not panicking. It's been times where nuclear threat was, threatened before, and now I'm just panicking. You can't do nothing about a nuke. You know what I'm saying? If it hits you, you're done. But I'm secure in my place. Only God knows where I'm going, but I'm trying every day to build my security in God and not preps, finances, and anything earthly. The thing is, what I realized when it comes to prepping, what I've done to where it don't overconsume me and take the place of God, I just incorporate it in my day-to-day life. I started gardening and started to take a journey of self-sufficiency. One, because it's healthier, because I know what I'm consuming. There's a lot of chemicals and products that we put on our body and in our body. And if I'm growing my food, I know it's natural and healthy. Even organic ain't organic. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I just decided to do that to where it's not taken away from God. And I dedicate probably like an hour a day to that. That's nothing compared to the time that I spend with God. And you know, that's just my biggest thing. Don't let anything overtake God's place in my life. And I'm not going to be overconsumed with my preparedness and my prepping over Christ. And that's what I decided to do. And I feel like, you know, I don't see anything in the Bible that's saying don't be prepared, because you have something saying don't store away, but you have something saying store away. I just feel like, to me, it's the motive behind why you're doing it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this made sense. And if you agree with what I said, thumbs up. If not, still thumbs up, and just drop a comment below. How do you feel about what I said? If you want to see more of these type of videos, subscribe. Hit up my IG, hit up my TikTok. And I'm actually I never stop my preparedness journey. So if you want to see more, let me know, because I got a channel. I just ain't been active on it in like 2 years. And I was thinking about doing it at least on my TikTok to kind of help people where to begin and where to go. And if you want to see that, let me know, and I'll see the link to my other TikTok. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay blessed and stay up, y'all.